Every Thursday morning, I woke up early to send my parents $700. Rain or shine, sick or healthy, I never missed it. Not once. I told myself it made things better between us. Maybe if I helped them enough, they would love me back. But 2 days ago, they didn't show up to my son's birthday party. No phone call. No sorry. Nothing. When I finally asked them why, my mother's words came out cold like ice. Your son doesn't matter to us. My hands started shaking. I couldn't speak. I just grabbed my phone and started taking away every single payment I had set up for them. One by one. 40 minutes went by. Then my phone made a sound. A new message appeared. And that message made everything different. For 9 whole months, every Thursday felt the same. I'd wake up before the sun came up, make tea, look at my son's drawings stuck to the fridge, and send $700 to my parents. It wasn't because I wanted to. It was because I was scared. Scared they would be angry. Scared they would yell. Scared they would never talk to me again. I thought if I kept giving them money, maybe one day they would smile at me the way other parents smile at their kids. After working all night at the hospital, I would sit at my small desk with pictures of my son Liam next to my computer. I would type the same information every week, then watch the screen say payment complete. It felt like my heart was breaking each time, but I couldn't stop. Payment sent. My mother never said thank you. My father acted like it never happened. But when their washing machine broke, I bought them a new one. When they needed new shoes, I sent the money before they could even ask. I wasn't being nice. I was trying to survive. If they were happy, they wouldn't hurt me with their words. Liam didn't know the truth. He thought his grandma and grandpa lived very far away, not just 20 minutes down the road. Can they come watch me play soccer? He would ask, kicking his ball around our small backyard. I would smile even though my stomach hurt and say, maybe soon, buddy. He would believe me because kids trust their moms. I used to trust too. I thought that one day my parents would change. That they would feel sorry. That they would come to our house, sit on our old couch, and tell Liam stories about when I was little. But every time I talked to my father on the phone, I remembered how wrong I was. He talked to me like I was nobody. Like I didn't matter. His voice was always hard and mean. Don't forget the new towels we need. Your mother's back pain medicine is almost gone. Some nights I would hear Liam playing with his toy cars, pretending they were going to visit Grandma and Grandpa's house. He would make the cars talk to each other. Grandma will make cookies. Grandpa will play catch with me. Watching him pretend made my chest feel tight. He was making up the family he wished was real. So when his birthday got close, I decided to make it the best day ever. I bought colorful balloons, made a big chocolate cake, hung shiny decorations everywhere, and even rented a small bounce house for the backyard. He wore his favorite blue shirt with a dinosaur on it. His hair messy from jumping around. His face full of happiness. Do you think they'll come this time, Mom? He asked, looking at the front door every few minutes. I wanted to say no, but I couldn't break his heart yet. Maybe, sweetheart, let's keep having fun. But I already knew they wouldn't come. By 4 o'clock, the cake was half eaten, the balloons were losing air, and most of the kids had gone home. The yard smelled like frosting and cut grass, but the joy was disappearing. Liam kept checking the driveway, his sticky fingers holding a piece of cake, his dinosaur shirt covered in chocolate. Every couple of minutes, he would ask again, even quieter than before, Mom, do you think they're still coming? I smiled even though I felt like crying. Maybe they got lost, buddy. But they weren't lost. There was no excuse. Just empty silence. I kept playing games with him even after everyone left. Liam sat on the back steps with a juice box, his sneakers untied, staring at the empty street like he was waiting for a miracle. When the sky turned orange and purple, he whispered, maybe they didn't remember. I sat down next to him and touched his hair gently. Maybe, I said, even though my throat felt like it was closing. But you had a great day, didn't you? He nodded slowly, his eyes tired and sad. That night, after putting him to bed, I sat on the floor looking through pictures on my phone. Him laughing with his friends, the bounce house in the background, his chocolate-covered smile. Every picture felt like proof that I tried my best. Then I saw something that made my stomach drop. A text message from my dad sent that morning. "Tell the boy happy birthday." That was all. No love. No hug. Just those 4 words. I stared at my phone for a very long time. Then I called him. I don't know why. Maybe I wanted to hear him say sorry. Maybe I wanted him to lie and say he forgot. Dad picked up. His voice sounded annoyed, like I was bothering him. "What do you want, Maya? Why didn't you come today?" I asked, my voice shaking. A long silence. Then he sighed like I was wasting his time. "We didn't want to, Dad," I said quietly. "Liam waited all day for you. He made you a card with crayons." Another pause. Then he said the words that destroyed me. "Your son means nothing to us." For a second, I couldn't hear anything except the fan spinning above me and my own heartbeat in my ears. My whole body felt frozen. "What did you say?" He didn't say it again. He just ended the call. I sat there holding my phone against my ear, looking at the blank white wall in front of me. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just sat there like a statue. Liam's drawings were hanging on the wall in the kitchen. Little stick people holding hands, suns with smiley faces, a world that didn't exist. My hands began to shake harder. I put the phone down on the table and whispered into the empty room, "Okay." The quiet felt heavier than any yelling ever could. I walked to Liam's bedroom. He was fast asleep, his hair messy on the pillow. His cheeks still a little red from running around all day. I kneeled next to his bed and kissed his forehead. "You are everything," I whispered. "Even if they can't see it." Back in the kitchen, I looked at the time. 9:15 p.m. Usually this is when I check my payments for the week and make sure everything is ready for Thursday. My finger was about to open the app like always, but I stopped. Not this time. I poured the leftover juice down the drain, cleaned the counter until it shined, and stood there in the dark kitchen knowing that tonight everything was about to change forever. I couldn't fall asleep that night. I just sat at the kitchen table staring at the clock as it went past midnight, hearing his words over and over in my head. "Your son means nothing to us." The words didn't just hurt. They cut deep inside me. Every time I heard them again in my mind, it felt like a knife. My phone was still sitting on the counter where I left it. I could see my face in the black screen. My hair was messy, my eyes looked tired and red. I looked like a stranger. I picked it up not to call them, but to end something that should have ended years ago. For so long I had paid them money every week hoping it would make them love me. Every Thursday at the same time, I turned my guilt into dollars. Now I was finished buying love that never existed. I opened my bank app. My hands were shaking as I looked at all the payments I had set up. Rent money, food money, doctor bills, car payments. Each one had their names next to mine. I stared at the screen, then started deleting them. One by one. Like cutting strings on a puppet. Click. Cancel. Confirm. With every button I pressed, my heartbeat got calmer. The shaking stopped. When I got to the last one, automatic payment $700 every Thursday, I felt strangely peaceful. I deleted that one too. And just like that, 9 months of payments disappeared. For a long moment everything was quiet. The fridge hummed. Pipes made noise. The night pressed against the windows like it was watching. Then my phone buzzed. A message from my mother. "Can you send us money for dinner? We don't have anything to eat tonight." I stared at those words. 40 minutes. That's how long it took them to notice I stopped paying. 40 minutes after saying my son meant nothing, they wanted food delivered. My finger hovered over the keyboard. I could have typed something back. Something angry or sad. But I didn't. I locked my phone and put it face down on the table. Instead, I walked to Liam's room. He was curled up under his blanket, holding his stuffed dog he named Buddy. I sat on the edge of his bed and moved some hair away from his face. "Never again," I whispered, not to him but to myself. That was the exact moment the guilt died inside me. I finally understood that I didn't owe them anything. Not money. Not explanations. Not even one more word. My silence was louder than any argument could ever be. When I stood up and left his room, The air felt lighter. The heavy weight on my chest lifted for the first time in years. I turned off all the lights in the hallway and watched our house go dark, a clean kind of darkness that felt like an ending. Some hurts don't need a big fight. They just need to be buried. And that night, I buried the old version of me that still believed parents always love their children. The next morning, sunshine came through the kitchen window like nothing bad had happened. But I couldn't forget what my father said. Your son means nothing to us. Those words played in my head under every sound, even the birds singing outside. Liam was still sleeping. I made coffee just so my hands had something to hold. My phone started ringing. A number I didn't know. For a moment, I almost didn't answer. Miss Carter, this is Mr. Wilson. I own the apartment your parents live in. I wanted to talk to you. The rent payment didn't come through this month, which is strange. Strange for me. Those words stung. That's not my problem anymore, I said. They need to pay it themselves. He was quiet for a second. They told me you always handled their money. I used to, I said, and my voice sounded stronger than I expected. Not anymore. When I hung up, something inside me snapped like a rope breaking. I wasn't their safety blanket now. I was just a mom drinking cold coffee in her own kitchen. At 11 o'clock, my sister Jessica called. Maya, Mom says you've gone crazy. I laughed a little bit. What does crazy mean? She says you're not helping them anymore. I'm not. Jessica went quiet for a few seconds. Good, I'm stopping too. I blinked in surprise. What? I've been sending them money too, she admitted. Not as much as you. Maybe $300 each month. Gas money, medicine, little things. I thought if we both helped, maybe they would be nicer. They never told me about you, I whispered. They never told me about you either, she said. I guess we were both paying for the same guilt. I fell into a chair, holding my coffee cup tight. So they lied to both of us. Yeah, but now we're done. Her voice cracked a tiny bit. You did the right thing, Maya. Before I could say anything back, my phone buzzed again. A notification from Facebook. Someone had tagged me in a video. It was called The Real Story About Our Daughter. My stomach felt sick. No. Don't watch it, Jessica said quickly. But I was already watching. The video thumbnail showed my mother holding a tissue like she was in a sad movie. My father sat next to her with his arms crossed, looking angry. Mom sniffled and spoke to the camera. We've always been there for Maya, but she's been telling lies about us, saying we don't care about her son. None of it is true. Dad leaned closer. She's been forcing money on us for years. She needs help. I didn't move. I just watched, feeling numb until the worst part came. The part one knew was coming. My father held up a printed photo of Liam smiling in his blue dinosaur shirt and said the same horrible words again, this time for everyone to see. This child does not exist to us. Froze. Images of Liam laughing at the park, blowing out birthday candles, running through the backyard flashed in my mind like a movie. Closed the video. I couldn't watch anymore. Within an hour, messages started flooding in. Did you see this? Is that really your dad? People left comments under the video. Some were kind, some were mean. Who says that about a 6-year-old? She probably did something wrong. Praying for healing. If this is real, it's so cruel. I turned my phone completely off. The house felt too quiet, like even the air didn't want to move. Later that day, Jessica texted. Don't say anything online. Let them mess up on their own. I listened. I stayed silent. I was learning that quiet could be more powerful than yelling. By the next day, the video had spread all over our town. People from their church shared it with praying hands. Others commented, "What kind of grandparents say that?" Slowly, people started turning against them without me doing anything. The next morning, Mr. Wilson texted me. They have 30 days to move out. Sorry. I didn't text back. I didn't need to. For once, justice happened fast. 3 days later, my cousin Hannah called. Her voice shaking with anger. They showed up at the family barbecue. Can you believe that? I was confused. They weren't invited. I know, but they came anyway, trying to get people to feel sorry for them. Hannah, I'm done playing games, she said. You should check Facebook later. Then she hung up. An hour later, I opened Facebook. A new video was getting shared everywhere. Shaky camera footage from someone's phone. A sunny backyard, people eating red and white tablecloths. My parents stood in the middle talking to family members. My mom was speaking, almost begging. No matter what Maya told you, she's confused. And that little boy, he doesn't understand. Hannah's voice cut through, sharp and clear. Before or after you said he doesn't exist. The camera turned to show Hannah holding up her phone with the volume all the way up. From the speaker came my father's voice, crystal clear. Your son means nothing to us. Everyone gasped. You could hear it like wind blowing through trees. My mother's face went white. My father looked like he'd seen a ghost. The whole backyard went silent except for a dog barking far away. Then Uncle Marcus stood up from his chair slowly. His voice calm but strong. If that's how you feel about your grandson, you need to leave. Nobody argued with him. Nobody hugged my parents or told them it was okay. They walked away without saying a word, heads down, faces pale. The camera turned back to Hannah. Someone in the background said, "She's right." Another person said, "Finally." I watched the video 3 times, then put my phone down and laughed. Not a mean laugh, just a releasing laugh that came from deep in my chest. Jessica called that night. "You saw it." "I did. They embarrassed themselves," she said. "Finally." "They really did," I said softly. "And I didn't have to lift a finger." "Sometimes the truth takes care of itself," she said gently. That night, I sat next to Liam's bed while he slept. His hand wrapped around Buddy, the stuffed dog. For the first time in months, my chest didn't hurt. I listened to the rain hitting the roof and thought about every Thursday morning I wasted sending money for love that was never real. I opened my laptop not to send money, but to look at the history of all my payments. 9 months of payments, line after line saying complete. I scrolled all the way to the bottom and whispered, "Not anymore." The next morning, the posts in our town's Facebook group were harsh. Church couple caught being cruel to grandchild. Someone had put both videos together, the crying mom act and the barbecue scene. The comments were brutal. "Fake people. You can't throw away your own family. That poor little boy deserves better." By lunchtime, their church took down all their photos from the website. Mr. Wilson changed their locks. The people who defended them went quiet. I didn't post anything. I didn't celebrate online. I just took Liam to the park. He drew flowers with sidewalk chalk and said, "Mom, this one's for Aunt Jessica." The air smelled like rain and chalk. He giggled, and the sound was so pure it made my heart ache in a good way. When we came home, I found a card in the mailbox. Cream-colored paper with my name written in pretty handwriting on the front. Inside was a short note from Aunt Carol. "They chose being right over being loving. You chose your son. That's what real family does." I folded the note and put it in my desk drawer. Some wins don't need clapping. That night, as I tucked Liam into bed, he yawned big. "Mom, can Grandma and Grandpa come next time?" Paused, choosing my words carefully. "No, Buddy. They won't be coming anymore." He nodded, thinking hard. "That's okay. We can invite Aunt Jessica and Aunt Carol instead." I smiled and brushed his messy hair back. "Yeah, sweetheart. That sounds really nice." When I turned off his lamp, the room went dark. But this time it wasn't scary dark. It was peaceful dark. The kind you earn. The next week, everything felt calmer, like the world had finally taken a deep breath. The constant pinging, the drama, the noise, it all faded into a quiet hum. My parents had deleted all their social media. Their accounts were gone. Their church put out a short post about family forgiveness, but everyone knew what it really meant. I didn't feel like I won a war. Felt free. The kind of freedom that doesn't rush around. It just sits next to you in the warm morning light and lets you breathe easy. Liam was singing at the breakfast table, spreading peanut butter on bread, totally unaware of the storm that had finally passed over us. Jessica came over that weekend with groceries and a smile that reached all the way to her eyes. "You look different," she said. "Lighter." "Maybe I am," I said back. We drove to Aunt Carol's house for Sunday dinner. Apple pie cooling by the window. Sunshine coming through the curtains. She hugged Liam first, squeezing him tight, then hugged me. "Peace looks beautiful on you, Maya," she said. During lunch, she talked about how saying no is okay. How love without respect isn't really love. I listened closely, really heard her words. And for the first time ever, I believed them. Later, while Liam colored pictures at the table, Aunt Carol put an envelope in my hand. "For the days when you forget why you stopped." Inside was one sentence written carefully. "Being kind with limits is being strong." That night, I watched Liam sleep and realized something important. The quiet in our home didn't feel like punishment anymore. Felt like protection, like a warm blanket keeping us safe. I stood by Liam's doorway watching him breathe slowly, his nightlight glowing softly. For the first time in years, I wasn't scared of tomorrow. I didn't owe anyone peace except us. My parents chose being proud, chose being free. And that choice, quiet and steady and final, was the strongest thing I could ever do. If you've ever had to walk away to keep your peace, you're not alone.